so cold. Close your eyes and see me go old. Feels the chase a breeze, hold your eyes up to the trees. Have you ever seen the sun jumping into a stream? It's really something to see.
Well, hello, everybody. I wish that I could show you a prettier background than what I'm sitting in front of right now, but if I were to have a window behind me right now in Alberta, it would be as white as the screen that you see before you. It is a real whiteout. We're getting more snow, which is great for the mountains, but to be quite honest, as a city girl living in Calgary, I'm done with winter. So I'm delighted to have been asked to speak with you today. A little bit about me, and thank you, Tom, for your kind invitation and introduction. One thing that's, I think, unique about me and my role is I have come from a marketing background. And so, like many of you in the audience, I have been responsible for marketing attractions and events in Alberta, and it's something I'm very passionate about. I joined Travel Alberta 11 years ago, and no, I wasn't doing social media then. I've had many different career paths within Travel Alberta. I guess the one unique and unifying thing is that I'm very passionate about the product that we have and the experiences that we share. In 2010, I was the brand manager, and that was a new role because Travel Alberta didn't have a brand. And that's really relative to what the video you just saw, because we were struggling with how we presented ourselves. In fact, quite often we were something for everyone. The only thing we don't have here is the beautiful ocean, of course, that you have. As a landlocked province, we have no major critical mass of population residing below us in the United States. It's Montana. And I think if we get all of Montana up here for a visit, that just increases our tourism by 3%. So it's not a huge market. We really rely upon long-haul in-flight destination, as well as some rubber tire. But as you know, this great country of ours makes it a big trip to come to Alberta. So as brand manager, we launched our new brand. You just saw our video, one of our first ones that we came out with. And it was a real delight to be a part of that branding video series. I just learned actually half an hour ago that at the ITB show in Berlin, which is a massive international trade show, that we were just successful in winning 3 more awards for our brand, our video series, and our travel planners. So if anybody is here from the government, I'm sure you can understand that that's a great celebration for our team, and it's great recognition. I already saw a tweet out from our minister, so these are all good things for our stakeholders. But more importantly, what I'm here to talk to you about today is what I've learned in the last year and a half being social media manager at Travel Alberta. We've seen some great success, and I want to share with you some of the takeaways that can help you with your marketing business. So I'm going to advance to the next slide. At least I hope to. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Tom illustrated that we have seen great growth, and really since October of 2011. So I left the brand role right at that time. That's when our industry conferences, we have it every year in Banff, and we launched the videos. And an opportunity came about to join or lead the social media team. And when I say lead, I'm a team of 1, so I get to manage me, myself, and I. But you can see that we started off, in fact, we only had a decent following on Facebook and Twitter. And then as you follow along the months, we run an April fiscal, so this is just over the last 11 months, not including this one, a real explosion, and it really started to hit slowly, and then it peaked. And I can pinpoint along that line where things started to happen for us. For example, in April, we saw a good jump because that's when we integrated with an offline broadcast television show, when we hosted Kelly Ripa and their show located to Banff for a week and broadcast live out of the mountains. And we saw great interaction. We really encouraged people to go to Facebook and Twitter and talk with us about the experiences they were seeing. Then we relaunched another set of videos in September, and you can see a nice peak as we headed into our winter marketing months promoting ski, and that continues. And you can see yet another peak in December, and a lot of that is around we start marketing summer and spring international. But really, so what? That this is the number one question that my CEO, Bruce Okabe, asks me every day is, that's great, these numbers are phenomenal, what do you do with them? And more importantly, what's your goal? So that's what I want to talk to you about. The key things that really allow social media, the traditional marketing, as you know, and it was really easy for me to convince our marketing teams that we needed to start doing the social, was it is no longer just a one-way tool. It's two-way communication, and it's direct and immediate access to real people. We have always been, as marketers, somewhat distanced from the results that we get, and so we can hope and pray, especially when you're a tourism marketing organization, that the work that we do is benefiting our hoteliers and our outdoor adventure operators and our everybody, attractions, you name it. Direct and immediate access to real people is essential and critical to help us better understand what's resonating and what's not. It also allows us, a built-in focus group. So immediately, for example, when we launched the videos on YouTube, I had the pleasure of doing an interview with CBC in Cape Breton the last week, and I mentioned to him, when we started to see people watching the video, actually initially we thought we should just put them up on YouTube so that our industry could see the videos, the work that we had been doing. We really didn't know how many people would find it or view it that were consumers. But by the end of day 2, 10,000 people had viewed the video. And we don't think we even have 3,000 people in our tourism industry. So that's a lot of sharing. When the numbers started to tick more and more, people started to comment on how this video just came to life for them and connected the emotion, which was what we were trying to do. So it validated all the work that we had done. And it was fantastic, and still is today. You know, to go and check on the comments and respond to them and see how people are still reacting to the content we push out. I mentioned this really has allowed us to offset some of our traditional marketing costs because we now have immediate access and that built-in focus group. We know what's working and we know what isn't. And we have made some tough decisions. We don't have an unlimited marketing budget, and we have made, as I said, decisions where we've cut, particularly in higher costs with low, return, like billboards and things like that. There's a time and a place, but social media has certainly replaced many of those activities. It also has really allowed us, with the launch of our new brand, to tell our brand story in our words, but also to encourage our advocates and our influencers, which I will touch on, to tell our story for us. Right there. So, Travel Alberta really follows what the Canadian Tourism Commission does as leading us in tourism marketing. And one area that we have focused a lot of our marketing strategy is on this path to purchase. For years, we really focused on the first three steps, which would be making people, especially the further afar they are from Alberta, aware about Alberta. We suffer from an identity crisis where the further you are away from Alberta, the less they know about us. And we had research that was telling us that in some markets, there was 0.02% awareness of what we are. Now, if you mention Canada, of course they know us, or Banff, or the Canadian Rockies. We had some leverage there. But just by talking about what an Alberta is sometimes where we have to start. Once we get them to that stage, we get them dreaming about it. They put us on their consideration list, like, I want to go there one day, but we want to create that sense of urgency. So through things like the video, we help them go, I want to do that, I want to go there, I want to see that, and it helps move them further through that path to purchase. And one of the unique things about social media was we were trying to establish where, in fact, it fit, and everybody immediately said, social media just plays at that last point on the path to purchase, and that's advocacy. But in fact, there's great research and proof now that we've been doing it that social media plays in all of the aspects of the travel purchase cycle. This is an example from Google, who did a great travel research study. And Tom, I can follow up with you if you don't have a copy of this to share with the audience. It was commissioned last year. But you can see that this is a similar path to purchase, and it talks about the different stages and how social networking and digital media influence every stage. And it's not just slightly, but it's significant. One of the aspects that we don't have any insight on as tourism marketers is we want to get them here. We want to encourage them to book a trip, but we often lost sight of them once they were here, or of course the post-trip in advocacy. And one area that really exploded for us last year is the whole experiencing idea. So when people are in destination in Alberta, seeing things and doing things, they're posting on their social channels and also including and tagging us, which allows us to share that content with others and make it more real than just the beautiful brand videos and brand photos that we've been showing you. So as I mentioned, this is another slide with the Google study. They are absolutely using online travel planning activities to help them research a trip, request more information. They watch a travel video to help them with all their decisions before coming. It's a great study. So here's a screenshot of our YouTube channel, which has become one of our most significant channels. I used to have hundreds of videos on it. We used to kind of populate it with any videos that were created. And one of the tips I would tell you is YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. People use it now for everything. I had a leaky toilet yesterday, and I watched a video rather than read a brochure on how to fix it. So it's become our go-to resource for helping us find information. And most importantly, we use it as a marketing channel. We position it with our brand videos, but we've also launched a second set of videos where we're getting into more of the story being told through the experience side, and they're called the Alberta stories. So What astounds me is a year ago we had 13 subscribers, and now we have 2,689. And why that matters is because anytime I add new content onto this channel, the subscribers get notified. And they are our advocates because they've taken the opportunity to subscribe and say, yes, I want more information. And what I notice whenever I share a video, and I'm very careful with the timing and the scheduling of releasing new videos, that they go on and tell others, like the shampoo commercial that I know many of you are familiar about. So not our shampoo commercial, you know the one. I'll tell a friend, you tell two friends, and so on and so on. So, for example, this week it is in the city of Calgary and in Edmonton. It's known as Dining Week. We call it the Big Taste. And last Thursday I launched a new video featuring Edmontonian bloggers talking about the great restaurants in Edmonton. And yesterday we released a video in Calgary with more of the farm to fork idea of how farmers, local farmers and producers are being featured in many Calgary restaurants. And what we're trying to highlight is, I don't know that Alberta is really known as a dining destination. Sure, we're known for our great Alberta beef, just like you guys are known for your great fish and lobster. But we want to be known for the culinary side with the creativity of the chefs and the great restaurants. These videos hopefully will help. And we've already seen a great number of views off of those too. So we're using video as an important part of our marketing strategy. Because tourism is so visual, the videos make a lot of sense, but I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of effort, money too, to produce good videos, and not all of us have those resources available to us. Whereas taking pictures, the visual representation of a picture, meaning 1,000 words, is perfect for tourism operators, and this is really simple because you don't even have to take great pictures. Your fans and your followers can. So this is a screenshot of our Instagram page. And not unlike YouTube, we didn't even launch this until May of last year. Instagram, I'm guessing most of you are familiar, and if not, I'll just quickly explain. Instagram is an app available on your phone. It started with iPhone and is now available on all platforms. And it allows people like me who aren't great photographers take a photo, apply some really cool filters, and the outcome, which you post to a social sharing network, makes you look like you're the best photographer ever. That's why I like it, and our fans use it too. More importantly, we launched and reserved our name, and that would be a tip. If you want to do this, make sure you register not just you, like I have my own account, Nancy Smith, but of course Travel Alberta. And then you want to encourage people to share their photos with you. And how you do that is just the same as with Twitter. You use a hashtag. And that is the other key thing that we started doing differently last May, is we launched a hashtag, which you can't register, but if you really own it and start promoting it and encouraging people to use it, they will. And since last May, we've had over 10,000 people submit photos with that hashtag Explore Alberta. And so every day I feature a different photograph, and you can just see a sampling of some of the winter-based ones. Now the one on the top right corner is not a winter-based one, but wouldn't that be cold? Oof. Talk about a polar bear dip. Anyways, the rest are. And you can see we've acquired a lot of followers, and we really modeled ourselves at the same time. The Canadian Tourism Commission launched their channel and launched the hashtag Explore Canada. So if you aren't already capitalizing on that hashtag, or you don't have one of your own, I would seriously look and consider exploring that. So then what do I do with those user-generated photos, and how do I position them on our other channels, which is really critical because, as I said when I showed you the numbers book, it's exploded and we've had great engagement. Absolutely, we never, ever, ever make a post on Facebook without a photograph. That just never happens. A photograph or a video is essential to your heightened engagement. And so again, I don't just use photographs that we have within our branded library. I love this photo. It was taken in the Kananaskis from a freelance photographer who took it on Instagram and shared his hashtag with us. And we picked it up and said, and here's the key with engagement, not just saying, hey, don't you like this photo? We ask a question to our audience. Where would you like to make a snow angel in Alberta? We give credit to the photographer. We link it back to his Instagram account. And within hours, I think this was about an hour and a half, 4 hours, we had over 566 people like this, which is great. But where the gold is, when people actually take a moment to say, I like this enough, I want to share it on my page, we had 128 people do that. That's where real gold engagement lies, when people are wanting to take that content and share it with their followers. There's something known as, the circle of influence. And if the average person on Facebook has, 150 friends, let's just say that as a round number. I think the number is actually closer to 153. If they post it on their wall and their friends see it and another person shares it, it just spreads out exponentially in terms of how many people are inspired by that photograph. And then the next stage of engagement that is critical is when people take the time to comment on it, because we're all so busy in our daily lives. If they actually take the time to write something, and this is where I love reading these comments. We've got everything from Lois telling us that's an awesome picture, Jenny telling us she knows where it is. It's at a place called Preacher's Point in Jasper, and same with James. He's saying it's on Patricia Lake in Jasper. Then Joanne just saying, wow, and actually took the time to say a second comment because she probably hit send too quickly, and that looks like that's an angel in heaven with a smiley face. But I don't respond to every single comment. It would just really clog the feed. Usually I'll engage after about 10 or so, or after a period of time, I'll just monitor it. If a person asks a question, like, where is that? I want to go there. I would certainly get on and answer from a community management standpoint. But otherwise, I really leave it to our advocates, all those people who are taking the time to comment. James, who obviously knows where it is probably from Alberta if I clicked on his profile. He's been there and he loves it. You know it when he's saying it's at Patricia Lake. He wants to position himself as, I've been there and I agree, it's gorgeous. So let me switch on to another piece of engagement from yesterday, and just another way I position another gorgeous shot. What an adventure that's both beautiful and relaxing. Experience the stillness of an alpine lake. And then you see a shortened URL. So the last example was the snow angel. I do 2 or 3 posts a day. One is just pure inspiration. And I do that because we're in the travel industry. I don't want to be selling all the time. Social media is not for that. People take time out of their day to connect with people, not to be sold to. We face that hundreds of times. Whereas with this, we can inspire people and yet still position, if they click on that link, a link back to our website, and they can get the information that they want on how to visit an alpine lake. Our Twitter account, the same thing. I don't sell, I ask questions. We've seen great engagement on here. We really position our hashtag here to reinforce what we're doing across the other platforms. And we use it to engage with people in our traditional media too. So whether we are marketing with the Los Angeles Kings and people are at the game and they see our videos broadcast throughout the hockey game and they comment, that looks great, I want to go there. I make sure that I'm on social media or that we're monitoring it 24/7 and can answer people's questions. And I find Twitter is very much in the moment now. And we've had great success utilizing things like contesting, etc. The last thing I want to show you, and Annette, if you can queue up the video that I asked you to with KLM, we have never led in a market with social media. We have only ever added on with it. So what I mean by that is kind of tack social media on at the end. But if you want to watch this video, we led this initiative with social media.
We like everything we see on Facebook these days. It's time to make the like unforgettable and reinstate its value. That is why during the Winter Sports in Canada Facebook campaign, we go for real likes, wintry woolen mittens. First, put your digital like on the map of Canada. In a personal animation, your like flies from your location to the exact spot you selected in either Banff, Lake Louise or Jasper. We then bring your like to life. We are actually flying the woolen mittens to Canada to present it to a Canadian on the precise spot you selected.
Hey Margaret. Hey Dennis.
Thanks, Bert.
Thanks for liking Alberta and thanks for the like on Facebook.
Thanks for the like from Holland. Thanks for liking Alberta, Canada.
And because it has a tag with your Facebook profile, the Canadian recipient can send you a return message. This is our way of bringing the Dutch and Canadians closer together through Facebook. A campaign with surprisingly good results, because those 23,500 likes for winter sports in Canada are not just your regular likes. People really talk about it. And winter sports in Canada is being promoted by thousands of fans. People book more winter sports trips with the tour operators. And more people are flying KLM to Calgary. But above all, new friendships have emerged between Canadians and the Dutch. Winter sports in Canada, surprisingly close.
Just to wrap up, that was such a fun project to work on, and we had a unique opportunity to work in a market that the Canadian Tourism Commission does not. It's an important market to Alberta because we have direct access, and as I mentioned, being landlocked, it's really important to have those flights coming into Calgary. And the best part was we made the mittens, see, the Facebook-like mittens, and I still have some, and when people tweet us on Tuesdays and we ask a trivia question on Travel Tuesday about Alberta to our following, they can win a set of these mittens. And I can tell you, these are the hottest commodity. I had no idea that people would fight over these mittens. So lastly, I just want to say, feel free. Thank you again, Tom, and your kind invitation to speak today. I was joking on Facebook to my friends that this is the one time that I actually wish technology wasn't so great and that I could come and visit you in person. I'd love to see Cape Breton. I don't know if Tom mentioned to you, but my husband is a professional bagpiper, and I really want to get out there and see him partake in some of your Highland games. So maybe one day soon. Hey, Tom, we'll try.
We have time for a couple of questions, if that's okay with you, Nancy.
Yeah, I would love that.
Hi, Nancy. I'm wondering about engagement rates with your social media and your Facebook especially. How you track those, or what tools or resources you use to gauge engagement in your social media.
That's a great question. We definitely have tried lots of different tools, and I can tell you we spent a lot of money on expensive tools like Radian 6, and it's just too robust and it's too expensive. So that's where I first got using some of the ideas of number of engagements. But I currently use a number of relatively inexpensive tools. I use Social, and I use Social Bakers. There's also some other tools that I can send or I can put on my Twitter feed. I don't know if you follow Twitter, and share them that way. Or by all means, my email's on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me directly, and I can give you links to all the tools. But I'm all about economizing and trying to use the best for the money, which are often free.
Any other questions?
I'm not sure if I answered your engagement ratio question. You saw in the KLM campaign that we averaged sometimes upwards of 30%, which meant the number of people that saw our posts engaged with our posts. On average, with my Facebook page at Travel Alberta, I average 12% engagement every month, which I'm really happy with.
Nancy, I have a question for you. I follow you guys on Facebook, and I'm amazed at the quality of photos that are posted every day. Do you have photos for that, or are they just photos that are submitted?
they are submitted through that hashtag using Explore Alberta. A lot of photographers submit their photos, and I think because the Rocky Mountains, not unlike your coastline, have some, scenic places that people want to take photos of. At first, photographers were resistant if I said, "Can I share this?" But if I link it and give them credit, it has proven with some of our local photographers, it's driven traffic to their sites and helped them make sales. So yeah, a lot of these are professional photographers that are submitting them to me for social use for free. But a lot are amateurs too, who are just really passionate and maybe catch that magic shot.
Yeah, because I'm just amazed at the quality every day. I look at Facebook, and it's a treat to see them every day in the morning too. But hopefully I'll get out to Alberta someday soon. It's been a long time since I've skied out there.
Well, I think we'll be skiing till June. We just got another 30 centimeters yesterday. So.
Oh, isn't that nice? Okay, we have another question.
Great presentation, Nancy. Really, really enjoyed it. You mentioned quickly there with videos that you guys put together that you strategically launch them at certain times. I'm just wondering if you can expand on that a bit and what strategies you do.
Okay, so the first thing is we pick content before, like around the development of videos that we think would best resonate for our experiences. So when you come up with your experiences, you go out and you film them. We don't put them all out on once. And the main reason we did that was because, as I said, if you've already established an audience on YouTube, every time you release a video, they get blasted out, a new video has been launched. So when we figured that out, then we figured we'll look at the content and we'll look to our industry to tell us when the best timing is. So one example is we have a beautiful ceramic studio. It's a very historic area in Medicine Hat in southern Alberta called Medalta. And we had filmed a video. If you have no idea what Medalta is, it's like those old crocks, those antique crocks. Many of those were made here on the prairies. And it was one of the biggest ceramic production companies. They don't have a lot of news to talk about. It's a historic site. They have a few events throughout the year, but their awareness is so low. But back in January, they were declared a national historic site, not just a provincial historic site. So we capitalized upon that announcement from the federal government and released the video, and the pickup was phenomenal. Or we did another launch. We filmed a video of a guest ranch in southern Alberta called Sierra West. And they do, all kinds of cowboy experiences. And right around last October, The Bachelor Canada was actually airing, and it was filmed at that same ranch. So we made the conscious decision that we had the video ready. We launched it at the same time that traditional TV show was being played in markets, and we had great pickup. And then I gave you the dining examples. We looked to an event this week, the Big Taste in Calgary and Edmonton Dining Week, and leveraged the activity and the noise on social media about all the great events happening in those two cities and launched the videos a week apart. So we look to influences from traditional media, what's happening, trends, discussions online, and then socially feed these videos to kind of match that. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, I think it did. Thanks, Nancy. We're just about ready to get started on our last keynote speaker, Patrick Sullivan from Nova Scotia Tourism Agency.
Oh, can I listen in?
Yes, you can. Okay, thanks again, Nancy, and I'll be in touch with you probably early next week.
Take care, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.